What's up, everyone? We're back working on the S14 again. Today we're doing the battery relocation to the trunk. Devin and I have already played around with it. We were trying to figure out how we wanted to run the wires and how we wanted to run the battery cable. And we came to the conclusion we're going to try and run it how I ran it in my S13 when I had it, which was through the firewall and followed along the body lines to keep the wires as much hidden as possible. And we're going to have it come out the trunk right over the back of the strut tower, and it'll pop out right into a nice little battery box. So we took us a little bit, but we figured it out, and now we're getting ready to kind of just start feeding the wire. Good thing we have an electrician's fish tape to help run the battery cable through, so we can get it to the right length and make sure it runs the angles that we want it to. So we'll take a look at where that's at. Now here's the fish tape. We have it running all the way down to the actual wire harness grommet right here. And what we did is we cut a small little hole in the grommet, and we ran the fish tape through it. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull the wire through there, and it'll look almost as if it was stocked that way too, which will be nice. And then it'll come out right out the bottom. So here's the other side of the fish tape. It's going to go all the way back to here. It's going to come out right underneath under here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try and run it through these holes right here, which this is all hollow. And we're going to run it all the way through here, come out through here, and then out through here, and then it's a hollowed all the way back through there. And we're going to literally have it dump out right here. We're going to probably mount the battery box about right here. So we have the battery, the test battery, even though this one's dead, like dead. And we're gonna kind of play with it, see what we can do, and it shouldn't be terribly hard. I mean, I've done this before many years ago, and since the S13s and the S14s still kind of have the same chassis as far as the tubular framing like that, it shouldn't be real hard to mount this and have it run right through it. So we'll continue working through it.
Hey guys, so running the battery cable, obviously on an S14, between the rear quarter and the B-pillar, got some sheet metal here. So what we're going to do is just punch pretty much like a 1/2 inch hole. Picked up a rubber pass-through grommet from Napa, and where the wire doesn't get marred up or cut on the steel, and then it'll continue back into just under the B-pillar, and everything through into the frame rail should be free and clear all the way up to where the ECU's at. So we'll just go ahead and run a fish through it. If you don't have a fish tape, if you're doing this kind of thing, I'd recommend it. I mean, you can pick them up a little 50-foot at Home Depot for like 20 bucks. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and punch this little piece of steel right here and put a grommet through it, run the cable through, and then get it passed all the way to the front, and then we can continue running the cable. So that's a hole, so you can see it running over the passenger rear wheel well. That's a clean shot. So this little guy, snap in here, but I'm gonna need 2 hands to do it. All right guys, so I needed 2 hands to do that, but as you can see right here, it's a little rubber pass-through grommet. Just make sure that it's well seated and goes around the sheet metal, and it's not just one side is holding it in. And once again, always do this when you're passing through sheet metal. That way your cable doesn't get frayed or cut. You know, could lead to future shorts. So just think about it and go with whatever's going to be the most protected. Make sure it's nice and sealed in there, and then we're going to go ahead and pass it through.
So change of plan. Turns out right in the center of the frame, right here, internally, it's blocked off. Didn't know that. Usually, because like I said, on my S13, it wasn't like that. It was completely solid or hollow all the way through. Apparently on this whole cross beam comes into here, and it's completely solid, so we can't get through it. So we got to improvise. So what we're going to do, instead of running it through the panel or the frame right here, we're actually going to run it right through here. So it's pretty open. We're gonna come out where Devin's moving the grommets right now. We're gonna come out down here from the bottom of where the seatbelt mounts to. We're gonna come out here and we're just gonna run it right along here and then out that way through the frame underneath there. So, you know, you gotta improvise sometimes. Can't always go through the channels we were hoping we could, so we'll make it work. We'll get it to look at least still nice. So we'll keep going. So that's how it's ran. It's through. We got the little grommet here. It's ran down, came popped out through here. Put another grommet here so it doesn't rub. All the way through, up, down, underneath the plastic right there. It comes right out of the factory grommet right here in the firewall. You didn't really have to add anything, and it's out. Make sure to always give yourself enough slack so you can cut where you need and make it to where exactly where you want it. So, and all we have to do is just tie it into the factory harness here to get power. And then we still have in the trunk, still have enough slack back here to get pretty much mounted anywhere in this general direction where it's going to be, you know, the box will be mounted. So came out actually pretty good. Like I said, we had to make a little changes because the frame wasn't as hollow as we were hoping, but we got it to work. So it looks good, it's clean, and when the carpet's back in, you won't even see it. So that's what we're striving for. We want this to be as clean as possible.
Hey guys, so Sean stepped out for a minute. So now that the positive cables ran, what we're going to do is go ahead and mount the negative, the grounding cable, right behind the location of where our battery box is going to go. So as you can see right here, we're going to put it on the passenger side. Really nice location right here. All I'm going to do, I've already done a little bit of it. We're going to use one of these existing holes right here, and I went ahead and took a grinder, grinded the paint off so it makes a nice contact patch with the negative. So what we're going to do is just drill this out a little more, bolt the terminal to here, run the wire, and we should be good to go ahead and put the battery box in. So now we're in the shop, going to get the negative cable ready to mount. The kit I bought came with this terminal crimp right here, and then it also came with a about 2-foot negative cable to go ahead and mount inside the trunk. Went ahead and stripped the wire. Any wiring that you do in general, because I've been an electrician over the years, whenever you strip wire going into a terminal or anything, just make sure it's long enough to go into the sleeve. Try not to cut it too short so you have wire sticking out like that. It's what we refer to as stingers. I know this is a negative and, you know, fat chance you'd get hit off of it, but anything that's pulling voltage through it, try to keep as tight as possible. Make sure that it's insulated up to the point. So we're going to go ahead and crimp that down. If you're doing this at home and with home tools, I hate to say it, but you can use like a hammer and a screwdriver. Go ahead and pinch this down. Luckily for me, because, you know, electrician tools, I've got this fancy schmancy Greenlee crimp. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp that down, get it ready to mount in the trunk, and we'll continue on.
So now we got Devin. He's mocking up the battery box that we're going to mount. He's currently marking where he's going to be cutting and drilling into the bottom of it so we can, over here, we're going to mount the box right here like I pointed out before. We'll probably just drill it in probably to these holes that are already in the frame, so it'll just make it a little bit easier. So we have the box mounted in, we got the cables run through. Devin cut a little hole, drilled out a hole down here. It's hard to see. There's a hole right here that he drilled out and ran both wires through. It's not quite mounted, the battery's not mounted itself yet. We need to put the strap down the bottom under here too to completely strap it and hold it in place. But this is generally what it's going to look like, so looks good. So now that we got the new battery hooked up in the trunk, it's not completely cinched down yet. It was just kind of like a test fitting until Devin really lays down the new carpeting and stuff. So we also came to the front. Devin spliced in the wires to the new battery cable to the factory wire harness. Came through, like I said, the grommet that was already in the firewall, and then we ran it all the way around. Devin spliced it and heat shrunk everything so it all looks all nice and professional now. So that'll about do it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, because with YouTube's new algorithm, it's making it harder for people to even know that I and other channels have even uploaded a video. So if you turn on that notification bell, you'll get a notification every time that I upload a new video. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.